that better? Yeah, it's spatial, dude. Here. See? Isn't that better? In terms of spatial? Is it? Tell me, I can't hear the audio.
Yeah, I don't hear the music anymore, but I hear you clearly, so I think we're good.
Can you hear the audio now?
I can hear it still. It's on the left.
Yeah, it just came back on in my ears.
It's a little
You just turned it
bugged.
back on, yeah.
Ah. Is it lower volume?
It's lower, definitely.
Okay.
Like, I can hear you really clear, so.
Nice. Yeah, I'm just tweaking it so in the future it'll be good.
Yeah, got you.
All right. Get started here in a second. Hey, and if anyone is just joining now, then sign the guest book on the right side of the stage. Welcome everyone. Sign the guest book on the right side. Pick a optimized avatar. You're on your own on that, Marty. I mean, check Messy Mart. Look, I'm on a 4090. It's smooth. You need to maybe it's hardware acceleration. Everyone else smooth. Let me know how your performance is right now. For me, I am pretty solid. And looking at everybody, I'm getting not that great FPS, but it's actually 60 FPS. Never mind. I'm good. Wow, look at all these avatars. All right, so as a quick tip, I'm gonna go over this again because we have more people here and we're about to get started. So let me turn on the music and then show a few quick tips, okay? I wonder if Mart, are you trying to get in VR mode? Okay, where is it? All right, does everyone see my screen? We're gonna go over a few things first before we start. And I'm gonna enable now global audio. So get ready. All right, test 1, 2. Are we good? Audio? Give me a... Good. All right, let's go over a few things before we really start this off. If you're a speaker and you need screen share, then before you, when you're on stage or whatever, give me your Eth address and I'll add you into the roles to get screen share with, okay? So speakers, keep note of that. Next, sign the guest book. And if you need an optimized avatar, there's a Tubby Cat right there, and there's a lot of other avatars floating around here. They're all optimized. So there's that. A, I will when it comes time to your presentation, which you can go first, but I don't know if you're ready for that. Okay. Some presentations might involve world hops, at which case we'll have a portal there and back because it's more than one presentation. So get ready for a field trip. Okay, great. Yes, ambient occlusion can be toggled to, how did you do that? Oh, right here. Okay, if you're having any lag, go into your player settings here. You can also type AO in chat, /AO, but right over here, and right over here in the third tab, you can set avatar visibility to kind of hide heavier avatars. So if I hide anyone who is a heavy plus, as you can see, some of y'all are heavy, but you'll get, it looks good on film, and I'm on a good PC, so I'll give y'all a pass. M sub 2 one day we'll do a workshop in here on optimization, and we'll take care of that. Okay. Next, it would be great if people can help out with event photography, getting the word out, and takes good content footage. So we have 6 cameras positioned on the stage or in around the world. The way to change it, which only changes it for you, is Shift 1, Shift 2, Shift 3, which is the screen, Shift 4, Shift 5, Shift 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And hit it again to exit out. So if you are recording, then that's a way to get quick camera cuts, which looks cool. If you're not recording, but you just want to take good pictures and just kind of fly around, there's a setting called P. You just type P, and then you can start flying around in drone camera mode. And this helps you get some really cool shots, throughout the event. So take some pictures, share them in the screenshots channel, or post them online. I would love to see them later. And tag M3 in it, I'll definitely see them. So yeah, hit P to do that and take some photography. All right. And with that, we have a few awesome presentations lined up. Cartarl has a presentation on avatar wearables. Aves and Moon is here or not. They're going to be talking about AIs in virtual worlds and Upstreet. Boombox Dev going to talk about Boom Tools, a avatar creation tool, but it's more than that, as you'll see. A has a presentation on converting Markdown to 3D models. VoxVN has, it's kind of crazy because your avatar is literally going to be kind of about your presentation, just the cool things that you can do with audio reactive stuff and Hyperfy. And missing someone. Carl Aves. No. Oh, that's it. Yeah. 4 to 5. So 5 to 6, 7 minutes each. I will respectfully kind of remind you in the chat when you're getting close to time, like a 1 minute warning. And everything will record it. If you want to record it, remember Shift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to do camera cuts. Type it again to exit, and do P if you want to go into fly mode. And Z and F to hide the UI in full screen. That's how you get the best quality. This really helps us out. We're wearing a lot of hats. This whole thing came together with me and Seven Roy. We had this idea, I think, on Friday, and a day later we built all this. But it'd be really helpful to more with event production type stuff. All right, and with that, our first speaker, who is ready to present? Cartaro? Is it going to be Boombox Dev?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. You want?
I'd love to hear it. All right, so give me your F address in the chat, and then I will allow you to screen share.
Okay.
Don't worry about sending this webpage link. We are pretty packed now, so don't need to do that. People can catch the recording later. All right, I'm gonna start recording now. So.
Do you want me to stand up on? Where do you want me to stand?
Yes, you're gonna stand right. I'm gonna move the boombox head. That's for me. All right, and with that, you can now start screen sharing.
Okay. Second here. Oh, I do the screen share inside the menu.
On the bottom right of the UI for Hyperfy, you see the little.
Yeah. Share. Let's do. How's that? Good?
Is there?
All right. Need to reset this. Give me a second here. All right. Hope you guys are doing good. Thank you for putting this event together. First of all, this is awesome. You know what I mean? My name's Godfrey, aka Boombox Head. I made a little tool called Boom Tools, and I want to talk to you guys a little bit about VRM avatars and avatar interoperability, creating these avatars, and just a little brief overview about Boom Tools and its open source nature. So, let me just get rid of that. We got a couple places you can find it. It's on the GitHub. We've done a few projects now of Boombox Heads V2s. We did Coldie's project. We're also working on Anadas right now, and it's a pretty cool way to create a multi-format NFT. So what it does is it makes an image and a collectible 3D GLB, and it prepares the ERC metadata as well. So it takes a bunch of 3D assets that you have gathered, and it'll compile those into the format you need to put together a VRM collection. So it runs on Unity 3D right now. It's been upgraded to actually 2022, I think. But on the GitHub, it'll show the documentation on which version it is, and it's regularly updated. But overall, it's a Unity project that you can download, and once you get it up and running, there's a bunch of layers that you customize to set up the randomization. So it does two things. It does randomization, as well as it can load in metadata from previous collections. So if you have a 2D collection, you're trying to make a 3D collection, you can prepare all those 3D files and the metadata, and it'll actually go one by one and load in all that. So it works with the GLB format, exports a collectible, kind of like you see on the left. And then as far as the VRMs, it uses Uni VRM to export those from Unity. And overall, it's open source, and you can get this right now. So let's see what else we got here. We're working on some extra tools soon to help with texture atlasing, optimization, and other things like that. But overall, it's set up, with a standard shader for now. The output for the images are 4K, so that's cool. Very crispy. I have a version of HDRP Boom Tools, but I'm just still working on it. But I should release that soon. A newer version of Unity with a little bit more HDR stuff if you're interested in that. And it does the whole thing. It'll export you a bunch of NFTs and highly rich dynamic NFTs, and if you want to look at the metadata real quick, you'll notice there's an attribute called VRM URL up here, and VRM URL is the URL that a lot of metaverses have been adopting to load in these VRM avatars. So you can see that there's a GLB on the animation URL, and that's what gives us the 3D preview on OpenSea. The image, as you know, is the image, and then the VRM URL is how this this standard is slowly coming around. People are starting to adopt it more and more. And we're going to use them, of course, right here in Hyperfire and a whole bunch of other places. Pretty much everywhere is starting to adopt VRMs, I would say. We're using IPFS to store them. So IPFS is our storage medium, and most platforms let you mint these things. We used Zora to mint my collection, but it's just like any other NFT. It's just a little bit of custom metadata. So thank you guys for watching. That was Boom Tools. You can get that at github/gm3/boom-tools, or you can catch a link on Twitter. Thanks, guys. Well, if there's any questions, I'm down to take questions. Do you want to wait till after, or Jen, or how? Or
No, I think you should ask them now. Or anybody that has a question can type into the chat.
okay.
Or just, we don't have a system right now. It's like a button or a line. We could do like a microphone stand here in the future.
Cool.
But just kind of walk towards the stage if you intend on asking a question, so we could maybe form a line or something.
Okay. Yeah, I think a lot of people here are familiar with the all Boom Tools, but yeah, sure. Yeah, I think looks like we have no questions, but yeah, if you guys ever wanted to learn more about it or need any help using it, I'm gonna work on some tutorials, and just hit me up on Discord and I'll walk you through it.
All right. Thank you, Boombox Head.
No problem. Thanks.
Great presentation.
Appreciate it.
Okay. So the next presentations we have, they're going to involve some world hopping. So what I'm going to do is, all right, first off, Vox. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I sent you the link.
And okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to, just in case we can't get back, I'm going to increase the capacity of this world to 60. And we're going to drop a portal into that world, okay? Hopefully it's not too heavy or whatnot. And it's got spatial audio. I need you to have a portal back here afterwards, okay? So we're going to meet back here. Do you want to start it here, or do you want to go straight into there?
I would recommend we go straight in there. Let me just check if the capacity is at...
Come to the stage. Come to the stage. So at least we can kind of walk through the stage and see who is the person talking.
1 second, I got lags because I'm opening up the other world. Okay. So,
all right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay.
Let's get a shot of you on the stage. Look. All right, there we go.
Perfect. Okay, I set up a little world where I want to explain like how the audio reactive apps in Hyperfy work actually, and how you set them up in your scene quite easily, because right now I think the apps are out now for quite some time, but I still don't see many people utilize them. So I try to help or explain real quick how you use them. It's pretty straightforward, but you need to like understand certain steps to make them work. And so yeah, I prepared a little world. It should be very lightweight, so all of you will fit in, and performance should be fine, hopefully. And yeah, then I can show you some of the stuff in there.
What's the world / name?
It's Light XP, or let me, I showed you, wait, I posted here in chat, okay?
Yeah, just give me the slug. Okay, cool. All right, so let's do that. We're going to go into light XP. That's it. This.
Wait a second, I'm lagging. Jumping back and forth tabs. Okay, can you guys hear me? Okay, perfect. So let's wait until everybody's here. Okay, I think everybody joined. Good. So actually, if you want to have audio reactive lights in your scene, it's quite simple. The first thing you need, of course, is a model, which you can you model something in Blender, or in this case, I used some prefabs of Sketchfab. And there's two things you need to prepare for the model to work in world, which is the first thing: you should give the material you want to emit, you should give it a name. And you should like an easy name to remember because you will need it later in the app, in world itself. So the second thing is you should give this material an emission color. The emission strength does not matter at all because you set it later in the app in world, but you should give it a color. Okay, these are the two things that your asset needs to have to later work audio reactive in world. So the next step I do when I set it up in Hyperfy is, first of all, I add an audio source. In this case, I use an audio app most of the time, which can handle an MP3. But you can also use the video app or the streaming app. It doesn't matter, as long as it can connect to Audio Bridge, it will work with audio reactive lights. So in this audio app, there's only one thing you really have to set, and that is that you label it. You give in the label tab, you give it a name, because this name, if you then the next step would be like add an audio bridge, and the audio bridge, there you choose your source, which is basically the name of the audio source we recently added. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And the audio bridge you also should give a name, because the name of the audio bridge itself later will be necessary for all the other apps you use. Okay, so just name it, and the next step is adding the Audio Bloom app. And in this Audio Bloom app, you add this model you just modeled with the material in it. You load it in like in a model app. And if you did that, there's the material tab, which I explained before. You have this name of the material and just write it in here in the material tab. Okay, so this is the material that will respond. And you assign the bridge we just added in the Audio Bloom app. So this Audio Bloom responds to the bridge, and the bridge responds to the audio source file we added. And if you did these three things, you will end up with, let me show you real quick. Have a light, okay, that blooms. And what I always do, and I can recommend it because you have this light, but you want it also to light your scene, okay? So in addition, I add always an audio light too, which is basically, let me show you the thing here, okay? So you add an audio light, and I use area lights for that because the point lights are, they emitting in every direction, but I like direction. So I use an area light in this case, which you can choose up here. And I give it the same color as the emission color of my model, okay? And then I place it like in the direction it should emit, and I give it a certain factor. And what you end up then is having this. Okay, so now I get like shining everywhere, and it's your scene. And it's pretty simple. That's pretty much all you have to do. It's 4 steps, and you're ready to go. And now let me show you how it looks like when you let me put this up real quick here behind you. If you have a scene where you have like 3 different, like, you have one light for bass, one for the mid frequencies, and one for the high, fire it up. And important to notice, you can also use like many different audio sources and give them all the same. You can swap and switch tracks in between with buttons and play something different, but the audio reacts to it. Okay, guys, that's pretty much it. I think it's straightforward to set this stuff up. I think everybody should try it. And once you understand how easy it is, you could make use of it. Like for example, I got like 2 portals here. I will leave this world open for later, and I have 2 portals where I use these applications for other use cases as well. For example, in this Majesty in the left portal, when you go there, there's a jump map where I use audio reactive jump pads. They make a sound and they emit, and also have an audio light which shines in the scene. So you could use this for games and other stuff as well. And in the right portal, there's a world where I set up, it's also like a club, but you can use audio reactive wearables as well. So one thing you should understand is that once you add a GLB file to an Audio Bloom and it works, you can reuse the same GLB in any other app, and it will be audio reactive like automatically, okay? So that's pretty cool because you can like utilize it in many other apps as well. Yeah, just play with it. I think it's fun. It makes a lot of sense to really use it and implement it. And yeah, I hope that was a brief overview over how this stuff works. I can now set up the portal back to
Yeah, that'd be great, dude. That was such a good presentation.
okay, perfect. Good.
All right, everyone, we're gonna jump back into you make it more like over here-ish. We're gonna jump back into Neotown. Just wait for the portal to open. Make it on enter. Walk, not click.
Yes, can you send me the handle real quick?
Right.
Okay.
No, don't click this, people. Not yet. Oop. Did I
Okay,
just see
one
like
second.
somebody disappear in there? Oh, make it also enter, like not new tab. All right, make a line, everyone. Okay.
Okay.
Welcome back. I think we have mostly everyone back. Okay, all right. That was an amazing presentation. Wouldn't y'all agree? I like the way that you can actually use Hyperfly to create a presentation that's interactive. If you notice, clicking those boxes, VoxVan was able to essentially create, open up those giant new images. And so a virtual world, that's the future of PowerPoint. It's going to be world hops and interactive learning. Really excellent job, and also overall presentation. This is a great segue into your presentation, A. Are you ready? Okay, and you need to drag and drop some stuff. Do you want privileges? Okay, give me your address and let me add you. I don't think I can do that. I can do that actually. No, I can't. I can only do that to kick or ban from a room. I can't do that to give priv. I just need you can DM it to me. All right, I got it. Yeah, I'm adding you now. Are these images like pretty optimized, by the way? Like we're not going to be spawning big resolution, right? They're optimized, right?
Just the screenshots.
All right. Yeah, we got you. So come up on stage, make sure audio's good. I'll move away this.
Hello, hello.
Yep, we hear you. So give me one
Yeah.
second. Hit record. All right, you can drag and drop now, I believe. If you can't, let me know.
Yeah, I can. Can you see the? Oh, it's a little bit.
All right, try again, actually. There we go. All right, now we're good. Yep.
Let me spawn a few. There are like 5 images. This one.
This is another way of doing presentations, by the way, y'all. Like, don't need to just prepare it for a screen share. Like, we're seeing 3 different types of presentations. A virtual world, a screen share, and a bunch of images spawned and kind of doing it whiteboard style. The beauty of having real-time editing.
Yeah, so I'm spawning a few
Yeah, spawn whatever you need.
from a project in development.
I'm gonna make some of these bigger.
Yeah.
All right, I think we got a good amount of stuff here. Let me bring this over. There you go.
Well, there's one more.
One more.
Oh, 3 more. Okay. One. Okay, just if you want arrangement, I arrange them. I can just spawn them.
I think we you just spawn them and I move them.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's. Well, now I drop some 2 files, 2 GLBs.
All right, just as a reminder, if people want to see something up close on stage, hit P on your keyboard to go into fly mode. And that way you can, you know, basically free cam mode and look up close wherever you need. So Z to hide the UI and then free cam mode with P. We don't see this GLB, by the way. It's placeholder.
Maybe
Nope.
loading.
Oh my gosh, it's kind of big.
Yeah, I should.
I'm struggling on a 4090 here. All right, but I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
I put it on the, like, behind everything here in the back.
All right,
Because it's just.
recording will look good at least. Got it.
Then the one to show the next one, but doesn't matter.
That's plenty of stuff here. All right. Can you get up on stage and then we'll commence. Give us a quick intro and yeah,
Okay.
5 to 7 minutes. Ready?
Ready? So first, can everyone hear me? So, okay, fine. Hello, I'm A. I'm from M3. My username tends to be a virtual future. is a useful implementation for documents in the metaverse, virtual reality, and so forth. Right now, there isn't a simple way to share and use documents cross-platform and without the need for extensions and standards and so on. The way we tend to do things at M3 is that we just try to make them and then try to standardize and whatever. There might be efforts to make documents in the metaverse already, but yeah, like none that I can use right now. So I set out to do a simple project, a simple goal, which wasn't that simple, which is to turn plain text documents and markdown documents into usable documents in 3D without the need of any extensions. The first problem that this poses is that rendering text in VR is very hard. So the first thing I tried to do was this kind of thing, which is like a virtual document, which is like a virtual book, quite literally, with paragraphs and so on. And the idea here was to use a simple JSON and convert it into, and load it into some sort of interactive book. But of course, this needs specific platform support. So the next step was to actually make a tool that converts text into a GLTF model without the use of any extension. So in the middle, we can see two documents that were converted from Markdown into 3D models with text and images and some layouting, very simple layouting. And the goal here was to have like two main kinds of documents. One is the horizontal one, where you can just walk around, and the other is the vertical one, which is designed for example, grabbing and scrolling with your hands. Another iteration of this idea was this specific kind of virtual document, which is like a Wikipedia article converted into a virtual document with like interactive images and simulated boxes and so on. That was another iteration. But that. So the idea here was to like solve the issue of having very crisp text that is better than like a plain image, because if you have if you take the route of taking a screenshot of a Word document, for example, a website, you're going to blow up the memory budget of the browser, and it will just not work. So what I had to do was to write an engine that converts text into very, very small, like one polygon per character, and arrange them. So if you look here in this large screenshot, the text is going to look very, very crisp, and it doesn't matter how large the document is, it will only take the same amount of texture memory, because it's using like the same texture for all the text. This allows for very large documents and that are very optimized. So the general idea of the project is to start with something that can spearhead the idea of documents that are cross-platform and also open source, and allow for more innovation without the need of extensions. So to close off this short presentation of the project, up here I have an actual export of the tool. You can see it. I'm lowering it down, and there are some material issues with Hyperfy that I need to figure out, but if you look closer, you can read the text, and let me scale it a bit back. You can read the text, and actually, like, the project is working. The landing you see is just a lighting artifact that we have to figure out. So anyway, the project has a lot of improvements in store. Let me show you another document to show more progress. I delete this one and load another. Let me load another. Okay. Here we have another document. Can everyone see the document? Okay, this one looks better. If you take a look, you can go very, very close, and the text is extremely crisp without taking like a lot of memory. This is not going to crash even a mobile browser. The whole texture is 500 by 500 pixels. So like a massive document is going to take nothing in terms of memory, which is the main limiting factor for sharing documents in 3D. It also doesn't need any special ShellTF extension. As you can see, this is going to work anywhere that ShellTF can be loaded. So anyway, if you want to know more about the process and so on, you can ask me in the M3 Discord and so on. Anyway, that was it. If anyone has any questions, let me know.
All right, folks, we're gonna put this on the side of the world if people want to check it out. It'll be right there, kind of on the left side of the stage. Amazing project going on, because I think when it comes to writing, you either screenshot or PDF things, but over here, using the texture atlas and with GLTF, we have interoperable text, and we have thousands of pages of documentation that could turn into art this way, or live data. You can imagine Hyperfly has the ability to do, let me get on stage. Hyperfly has the ability to do remote GLTF files, which means that it's possible to bring in live data from the web into like these, and then like log into a room and it refreshes from that data into a GLTF file.
So I forgot to add something to the presentation. This is the last screenshot. Here you can see like the current state of the project is generating a world from a book. So you can have all each one of the white things is a page, as you've seen before. And the idea is that you can see what other people are reading. You can talk to other people as they browse the book. And like the idea is to spatialize documentation and help others learn and speak and talk instead of just sharing a page or sending people to some URL. The idea is that instead of a library, you get the experience of a massive poster hall. It's like, also it's procedural. All you have to do is provide a text document and you get a GLTF of this world. Anyway,
We got a question in the audience.
Yes. Which is it?
Okay. If this is experiments or if these are going to be open source tools.
Yeah, the goal is to make it open source. However, I'm doing it on my free time. So like, there's no extreme brush, but that's the plan.
Any other questions? All right, well, thank you, A. Move some of this stuff. I got a lot of good pictures. Let me just get one more shot with everything on the stage, and then. All right. Cool. Is Abe's here ready?
Yeah, just about. Sorry, that took a little bit to load up into Hyperfy again.
All right. Give me 1 second. I need to do you need screen share?
I think so.
All right. Okay, screen share is done. And I think you are good to go. So let me just double check the recordings and then taking several cuts, you know, always got to make sure. Okay, I'm recording. So Abe, you want to give us an intro, and if you need screen share, and you know, I think you got it. So good to go.
Give me a second. Screen share. Chrome tab. Do this together at the last minute, but I think that's probably the best energy that we can have for something like this. Present full screen, maybe. Yeah, so I'm Avier. I've been doing this stuff for a great many years, probably like since around 2016, since I was bitten by the VR bug. Shortly after I was bitten by the crypto bug and the NFT craze, and then more recently I've been bitten by the AI bug, with kind of following all the cool trends, I guess. I don't know if that makes me cool, but yeah, I'm also like one of the founders of M3, but so far it's just been amazing to see how Jin has carried the torch of like pretty much the vision that we set out. Honestly, like, bravo. But today I just wanted to talk about Upstreet, which is kind of like the latest incarnation of the stuff that I've been working on. The demo is actually out. You can check it out at upstreet.ai. It's actually working in multiplayer, and I recently got voice chat working. If you see me around, I'm probably wearing my silly avatar. It's the character that I'm wearing right now. She has many incarnations. Yeah, some cool logo concepts that we had for Upstreet as well. So yeah, basically what can you see at upstreet.ai? It's basically a multiplayer demo, plus a single player demo, plus a generative agents SDK, plus an in-development kind of build that you can test out new features in. But right now you can just run around, see other people's avatars. It's not documented, but if you drag and drop your VRM, you can actually wear it and other people are going to see it. And there's in-world voice chat that I just got fixed last night. And there's a bunch of in-world beta apps that you can talk to in the in-dev mode, where you basically can highlight an AI and talk to them. So what did it take to make the multiplayer tech work? It's actually, I think, much more impressive than you'll be able to see right now. But basically, it's an infinitely scalable multiplayer server instance. It runs on Cloudflare workers. And it's basically sharded out based on the chunks of the world that you're in. So you can actually run it locally, but the cool thing is when you run it remotely, you basically have infinite scaling. And as you walk out into the world, and as you meet, as you kind of get into range of other players, they're going to pop in and out of existence. So this is kind of like M2 tech, and I'm hoping to just drop this as open source so that anybody can use it in their own implementations. Well, the voice chat works over WebSockets, and there's text chat that I'm fixing right now. The cool thing about the text chat is it's actually integrated with all the AIs in the world. So the AIs actually have perception over everything that's around them. And so you can basically ask them, hey, like, can you lead me to like the nearest tree? And then they'll know where that is. So just some cool stuff that we're experimenting with. And hopefully we're all going to be able to do this in multiplayer and configure the personalities of our AIs, drag and drop and so on. But I'll get to that in a second. And so some of the motivations that kind of just drive me, I think I'm just doing this for fun and research at this point. I'm not making any money off of this. I just want this to exist. But there's some like real prescient, real world motivations that I have as well, which is that it turns out that if you've been following the research with like generative agents and all these AI papers that have been dropping, turns out that it seems that the metaverse might be the path to AGI. If you have multiple agents interacting in a world with real world simulated kind of human interactions, they actually superiorly outperform basically single agent systems and single agent LLMs, large language models, if you know what that is. So it turns out that building the metaverse might actually be the path to basically solving the entire world's problems, but kind of getting ahead of myself. I don't think I'm the only person that is having these thoughts though, because OpenAI just recently acquired Global Illumination, which is a company that was making kind of like an open source version of Webverse without a lot of like the VRM features. They were kind of like Minecraft based. But OpenAI literally just acquired them, and I think it's reasonable to assume that OpenAI themselves are into metaverse research at this point. Same, of course, with Marky Mark. He's making his own metaverse. But the problem with all these other implementations, they're so corporate and they're all so locked up. So OpenAI is probably not going to make like an open source metaverse. And Mark, despite dropping a whole bunch of really cool AIs like with Llama 2, especially since now anybody can use it, like despite that fact, I still don't think that they're building the kind of metaverse that I want to live in. And I would say kind of similar things for OnCyber or DCL. Like it's very locked down. It's not open source in a lot of cases, like DCL is, but it's just not. In a lot of these cases, it's just not fun, and I don't feel like it's built with heart at the forefront. It's built with money at the forefront, and I'd rather just build something that I would just want to play, like Fortnite, Craftopia, Danganronpa, whatever it is. Start with that, and then just make something that's really fun to use and build it with the community. So basically what I want to do over like the next like short period is to build back the street, kind of the stuff that I wanted to do with Webverse. So that's like land claims, making all the pass holders whole, people who bought a Genesis pass and kind of like believed in the vision. There's a lot of stuff that I want to release that's basically ready to go. It just needs a framework for doing it, like wearables, pets, vehicles, mobs, mining, NPCs. I think a lot of the stuff that made its way into HyperFi in some form. I think I have some different ideas of how to do that in kind of a more MMO context, but I'd love to be able to ship it. This is stuff that's basically been in the works for the last 2 years, and I'm just really glad that I'm able to deliver it to some audience that kind of thinks it's cool. So can we get back onto the rails? I'd like to think so. I want to do right by the community that kind of invested in me, and basically get Upstreet back on track, kind of the original vision. Probably want to do land claims. We're trying to figure out what that means with some of the current holders and some of the people that have been joining the streams. And hopefully with land claims, once you can kind of drop into the world and like claim a piece of land, depending on how that's done, whether with Genesis pass holders or we do another mint or something like that, then we might be able to enable feature voting with like a proper DAO, get everything into a proper multi-sig wallet, and make sure that whatever happened like with Webverse doesn't happen again. Also, with the ability to deploy land, I'd love to get some other people's content in here. We already have drag and drop VRMs, so that's a nice start. But I mean, there's tons of things that people build not only for like Webverse, but also like for HyperFi that I'd love to be able to just drag and drop into the world once you have a piece of land. Or maybe a home space, or we're still trying to figure out what the spatial dimensions of all this is going to be. And of course, some gameplay. I think none of this really captures my attention as much as being able to play a game with people. That's also just like VGC. It's kind of like my dream to make that reality. But for now, I'm just a volunteer, and I'm always looking for suggestions. I've been streaming for like the last couple of weeks in the M3 Discord, just having a blast and just listening to what people think. It's been really fun, and if you want to join, like anytime, I'm down. We had some interesting names for what we want to call this world or whatever, like maybe Metaverse. That was a cool one suggested by ChatGPT, like virtually embodied real-time immersive simulation. But the idea is kind of just like an infinite canvas that you can play, like an MMO or like a street, depending on how you want to think about the dimensions. But basically a game world for humans and AIs to interact and kind of work together. Or a game that you can watch, because with all these AI features that are coming in, you have basically a chat system, so you can chat to any AI in the world. And you don't even have to say anything. You can just select from the options that are coming in. Of course, you can talk to them as well. There's text-to-speech and speech-to-text. There's pathfinding along the world, so they understand everything that's happening inside of the scene. And yeah, we're trying to piece all this together. hopefully in the future it can be just a game that learns. Like even if you're not in the game, then the game still exists without you. Moon Shaw, I'm not sure if he's here, but he dropped a really cool thing. In like 2 days, he made an agent SDK that basically plugs into the interaction system with chat, except you can basically run your own private agents like Llama or AutoGPT or any one of these systems and just plug them into the game world and become a character in the world. I think that's super cool. It's available on GitHub. It's already open source. It just basically plugs into the world with a dumb agent right now, but there's a bunch of other integrations coming out with like Magic and other frameworks. So right now there's a JS and Python version, courtesy of ChatGPT. Hopefully more languages in the future. Open source, and yeah, hopefully people can inject their own personalities into this game world that we're kind of trying to build. There's other cool stuff that we've built that's kind of in line with the agent SDK, like the companion stuff, which ended up being used in MOEM 8. You've seen that. There's also a bit of work that we did kind of plugging Jin's ideas into training the AIs on M3 data. So we actually have a training pipeline now that can ingest basically any HackMD as well as images and do like image processing on them. Ingest them into a vector database to have AIs trained on essentially any AI that you like. And hopefully like in the future, this can evolve into something like maybe a Jedi Council, where if you have a problem or like you want advice from somebody wiser than you, like an AI, you can kind of come in, talk to them, and they're trained on all the data that you'd be interested in, and they'll give you advice. Moon also did some awesome stuff with AutoGPT and like coding AIs. So we actually had to train our coding kind of companion working on Twitch, and basically she'll code anything that you ask for in the chat. Kind of janky right now, but I think it's a super promising way of developing these systems. And also, like, a lot of what I've done over the last 6 months is kind of explore what's possible with generative AI. And it seems like at this point, pretty much any part of a game, like if you don't know how to build that part, like whether that's audio, like with music gen, or you don't know how to do like 3D art, like there's ways to do scenes with Blockade Labs. And at this point, even if you generate something with Midjourney, you can do a depth-based reprojection of that and basically create scenes out of nothing, just a text prompt. Same with characters. And also there's real-time AIs that allow you to perceive what's happening in the world. So I showed some of that in some of the other screenshots, but basically the AIs basically now have eyes, and they're able to tell that they're looking at a doorway and they should go there if like you tell them, hey, let's go to the next room or whatever. A lot of that's also being borne out in the research by like more official people than me, like the generative agents folks who are from Google. We're basically saying, like, yeah, if you build your systems this way, like it brings us closer and closer to AGI. Like we're actually solving real world problems with these systems. They turn out to outperform just single agent systems. So I'm just really excited about the future of generative AI in general. But I'm not making any promises here. I'm just like part of a group of peeps with hopes and dreams. I'm not really sure where to get started or where to go next, but a lot of people had interesting ideas of how to like mint land and how to deploy their own content. We have a Discord, and I've been streaming basically every day, almost all day. If you want to follow me on Twitter, that's me, and there's the Discord link. So yeah, thank you. I guess into the future is like, where's this headed? Hopefully with Vision Pro, like all this can just work in AR. With Mud, they have some really interesting ideas for how to like put these kinds of games on chain. I think we're going to get to AGI agents at some point this decade. It's really not clear to me how, but I just hope that it's an open implementation, and I hope that I can contribute in some way. But yeah, thank you. If there's any questions, I'll take them either here or in Discord later.
There are. It's any plans on making a VR version of this or already in the works?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I think WebXR works. There might be like 1 or 2 crashes, but it's pretty close. It's just a matter for me of basically prioritizing all the different features because there's a million things that I can do, and I'm basically a single dev at this point. Hopefully, once we can do like some land claims and some sort of token mechanism where people can have a say and have some sort of weighted vote for features, then we can just drop that into like DWork and a DAO. And yeah, WebXR like honestly would take me like 1 or 2 months. to bring back.
Would save for agents, but I'd be happy to speak more in depth on that as well if you wanted to. But I feel like you said almost everything I was going to say.
Oh, Moon, come up on stage real quick. Get up on stage.
How big will the land be? They're currently 64 by 64 meters. Right.
Hello, hello. I'm rocking the retro Doge today.
Nice. All right, cool. Thank you so much, Abe's. That was an awesome presentation. We have one more, which is Cartarl with Cyberbrokers to discuss avatar attachable systems. Are you ready, Cartarl? Do you need screen share or anything?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Okay. My thought was I'll do a little part here, just set it up, and then I've got a world we can go into to see it live. It might be a little crowded in there, which is why I want to set it up here first. Does that work?
Give me 1 second. I'm starting a new clip for this. So. All right. So yeah, so we'll start it off here. And just like what we did with Vox, we'll hop into that world. Just give me the slug that we're going to hop into, and we will jump in same way.
Okay. Cyberbrokers, easy.
But make sure that that world has at least like 40 people limit if you don't already.
It's ready to go, and I've got a portal in their back already as well.
Okay, wonderful. Alrighty then, sir. You don't need screen share, because if you do, give me the address that you're signed in with.
No screen share.
Alrighty, great. Okay, so yeah, you're ready to go.
Okay. My name's Mike Cartarell. I am community manager for Cyberbrokers, and I realized after watching all this, the first demo day should have been Cyberbrokers mech avatars, because I'm jumping into a more complicated conversation than that. Shout out to a Gigazilla I see in the crowd, and a Frankenmech, which is a multiple types of parts all put together in the back, which JPEG is wearing. We released Cyberbroker mechs earlier this year, 3D avatars, customizable with 6 different parts, 1.7 billion combinations. And I'll come back and demo that later. What I want to talk about today was attachables, and specifically things that are added to a VRM, but not covering the VRM. I kind of put wearables into the like shirts, gloves category. So I'm just going to talk about attachables, which I think are something easier to take care of first. And you've probably seen the attachable app in Hyperfy. So we have a collection coming out in 4th quarter called Mech Mods, which will be things that you can add to your mech. They will, not only be beautiful additions, which you'll see in a minute, but they'll also be used inside of our universe and in 3D worlds like this. So, when it comes to attachables, the easy route is to have a UI on the website that says, I want to wear this or this. And then we have a 3D pipeline that would add it and, just update the VRM, the base VRM. Okay. That's the easiest approach. It's also the approach that works 100% of the time today. That approach, though, I don't think is where the future will be, because you want to be able to interact and change things as you're in world. So we've been looking at ways to kind of address that tech issue. And Jin was nice enough to, point us to some of the work that different organizations have done. And we've kind of honed in on the JSON approach. So, attaching metadata to the NFT, the avatar, and then attaching JSON data to the wearable, that helps kind of merge the two automatically. So I want to take you into a Cyberbroker's world where I have 2 custom apps set up that will let you pick a mech. You can ignore that part if you don't want. But there are podiums or pedestals with mech mods on them, so attachables. So you can just click them and you'll see them get added in Hyperfy to your avatar. You'll also quickly see the issue. Attachables want to reference bones. Well, bones isn't where things get attached. The outer mesh, the skin, is where things get attached. So we need some standards on how to figure that out. And I'll explain more when we get into the room. Does that work for a setup, Jin?
Yes, sir. Let me just get the link and then I'll drop a portal right in front of the stage.
Okay.
It's the slug, the last
Cyberbrokers.
straight up.
Straight up.
Alrighty.
Easy as possible, right?
Yeah, come back over here so you can lead us. Don't, y'all, wait, chill.
And
I didn't even type it in yet.
And be careful because Mr. Griff here can stomp on things.
No, it's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. Okay. Walk in line.
Back of your avatar. So these are 3 examples of the mech mod collection. They were awarded to players of our recent version beta game. And you'll start to see kind of the issue. If you start looking around, you'll notice that they don't place perfectly because their reference point is a bone, not the exterior mesh. So if you look on my left and my right, the basis for this idea came from Jin. Actually, do you know where? I never asked where the JSON idea came from. Is Jin here?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Where did the JSON idea come from?
A lot of places, honestly, like Voxels uses it, Webiverse uses it.
Okay.
Just it's pretty common.
Okay. So what we've been thinking is adding to it and splitting the JSON a little bit. So having the avatar have JSON that defines points where you can attach things and then gives the coordinates and potentially rotations, depending upon if you want some styling of where things should go. Then the attachable would have its own JSON and modify that. So like a certain set of wings, you wouldn't want to touch or enter the mesh or the skin, but a different, no, Aves, the coordinates would be a specific point on the mesh itself. So the key concept here is splitting up the JSON between the avatar NFT and the attachable NFT. Because the avatar is really the one who knows where you want things attached, whereas the wearable should reference that as a starting point and then, it will have style. So I'll take a baseball cap is probably a good example. Okay. So the avatar would say, here's where you should, place a hat. The attachable might have different coordinates based upon, a forward facing hat, or a backwards facing hat tilted down, or a hat moving to the left. So the attachable could define that in the style, but the avatar would have the base reference point to start with. And for us, this is important because we want to be able to do what you're doing here, which is you should be able to like shop for things in 3D worlds, and you should be able to try them on and see how they look on your avatar. And not to mention for us, for gamification, we want you add you add wings and boom, now you can fly in the world, or you pick up this item and you get these capabilities. So you can't really do that with the base VRM approach. So this is just an example of what we're working on. The intention is we're going to come up with a custom Hyperfly app to demo the concept, and then we would love more feedback from people. Are there any questions?
Rooted in if it's not bones?
It would be the skin location. So it would be up to the avatar to figure out where back, like top, should be. Because certain, like if you look at our mechs, we have 50 different styles of mechs. So we're going to have very different points on the back where we would prefer things are added. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank
We
you.
got another question, more of a comment, but I agree. Some people are debating Eulers versus Quaternions.
Yeah, I'm not technical like that, so you vote and tell me. To me, that's just a tech choice. I want to make sure it works.
Why don't we
It's
just do
actually-
both?
It's Oilers, not Quaternions. I mean, sorry, it's Oilers, not Eulers.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that debate here.
The guy, he was a dude.
Vim is the best editor. Okay, so I think we should do both, and that tomorrow is the Avatar Wearables meetup at Metaverse Standards Forum.
Yep.
And this is exactly the kind of thing that the Metaverse Standards Forum, like for avatars, wants to focus on for the wearables fashion group, but also what you were saying, like attachables via the skin mesh. So true. And we have some HackMDs on that. So yeah, hit me up if anyone is really interested in avatar entrop / wearable entrop, because we have a full knowledge base of this stuff, and feedback would be good, but love how y'all are setting up a lab here for us to visibly see exactly what the issue is, and it should be like the meetup spot or part of it,
Yeah, and this world will get expanded. What you're seeing now, I'm gonna kind of put off to the side as like a sandbox area, but it'll be still accessible from this world. Yeah, I think the other thing for us is, if you start adding, like let's pretend you put 3 attachments or wearables on your VRM and update your VRM. Now your VRM is going to go past heavy. So there's a piece of it which is also optimization of allowing the in-world to deal better with VRMs that aren't huge. Any other
definitely.
questions? I love all these wings. This is awesome. Wait, you know what? I need a picture here.
Also, P works here.
Yeah.
I like that you enabled that.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. I want to get a picture of this. This is awesome. Okay. I will come back for a different conversation on mechs in general and the 3D pipeline we created. But we'll save that for another day.
Thank you so much. That was an awesome presentation.
The portal's over there to the right, by the way.
All right, let's go back here into Neotown. Everyone, right over.
Looks good.
Oh, Vox, we wanted to jump into your world. That was the after party spot. We'll go into the other world. It's fine. Flux, maybe? Flux? I think we'll do that. Go to urban? Okay, got it. Alrighty. Welcome back, everyone. Were we gonna go into a demo, or do we want to go to the after party spot? Aves, do you think multiplayer can handle a bunch of people with voice, or later?
I don't know.
That'll be a good test. Yeah, let's do that.
Whichever. Feature's 1 day old and it hasn't been tested except by like Jen curve, so who knows? No, but I'm down to test it.
Okay, let me grab a link then for people. This is the Discord channel that we're mentioning for Upstreet, and we just like tested multiplayer, I think, as a group for the first time yesterday. If you want to be part of the next stress test to kind of check out multiplayer with custom avatars, drag and drop, then we'll have a portal in there, and as a backup thing, because it's super experimental, that will be in the voice channel there for backup. So I just want to kind of close with thanking all the speakers, of course, for the awesome presentations. Everyone that showed up, please sign the guest book too. Don't forget, it's right over here. You got to be signed into Hyperfi as well. Thank you. Good. And then the URL, Abe's, can you just drop it in chat, and then I'll open up a portal to it. The multiplayer, direct like right into the multiplayer. I'll copy paste in. Okay, give it a second, y'all. All right. This is going to be pretty experimental in terms of how many people it can handle. So if it blows up, it is what it is. Let me see if I can get a picture. So at least there's that.
Make sure to drag and drop your VRM into the browser.
Are you not seeing any portal-like preview? There we go.
How are you guys going?
So, and if it blows up, then so be it. There'll be an after-party world, perhaps as a backup. But yep, let's jump in. Thanks everyone for joining. If you need to jump out, but this is going to be a stress test of how many people we can fit into the upstream multiplayer, which just like came out. So, see you there. And again, the Discord link to backup. I'm spamming it. And you know what? I'm going to put it right next to here just to double check that nobody gets lost.
Let's break this!
When Moon?
This is